Hello and welcome back to Grey Wolf Adornments and Metaphysical Supplies. My name is Lisa and I am the founder of Grey Wolf. And if you are new to the channel, I invite you to like and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, I thank you very much for joining us again today. Now, in today's video, we are going to talk about the Green Man. And I wanted to start off by saying I did do some research for this video apart from my own personal experience. And one of the first videos I watched, it kind of put me off a little bit because she started off by quoting Wikipedia almost verbatim. And so there's nothing wrong with Wikipedia and there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you are a part of the pagan community like I am, I think I would really start my research off by going to other pagan sites and see what they had to say rather than just relying simply on Wikipedia. And so that is what I've done. And for my own research, I did go out and look at some other pagan sites and find out just a little more about the Green Man. Me personally, I think that you can learn more about the aspects and personality of a particular deity by speaking with their followers. And so that's where I'm going to start this video with. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own personal experiences with the Green Man. So when I first became a pagan, the Green Man was probably my first patron deity. When this deity first presented itself to me, it was very, very old energy. His spirit felt as old as the earth itself. So my personal gnosis with this deity is that if Gaia is the Earth Mother, then the Green Man is like the Earth Father. Let me just read from my notes, because I want to get this right for you. His spirit indwells in the wild green places of the earth. He is wild energy from the flora to the last little animal. He is that wild energy that lives in the woods. He is the spirit of the trees and of the good earth surrounding them. His material form is made from the leaves and the brambles of the woods. He is natural, primal energy. That has been my experience with the Green Man. It's an amazing presence that I really love to feel. When that presence comes around me, it's an amazing feeling, and I really love to experience that. So I knew that I was being called to this particular deity because for weeks I would see his face all around town, and which is unusual because I live, in Fort Worth, in the Fort Worth Metroplex area, and it's not like something normal. But I would be seeing his face, and so this is an example. I used a stencil to do this. This is my own creation. So that motive with the leaves is what I'm talking about. That face is the face of the Green Man. It's a male face surrounded by leaves, and that's a really common motive. And that brings up some of the more generic facts about the Green Man. And the motive of the Green Man shows up across cultures and even across religions. While his interpretation is one of mostly pagan, the motive has shown up in a number of Christian churches as well, and the most notable of these have been in Britain, France, and Germany. He is most closely associated with the Celtic cultures, but his image dates back to the time of the Roman Empire, and it has been as far-reaching as all the way to India, because there are images that are similar in India. Um, like I said, the depictions of this face have it's been of a face emerging from the foliage, or but to me, it's more that the face is created by the the foliage. But there have been depictions of both, of just the face emerging from the foliage, and some that have the foliage emerging from the face. Because of the way that the Green Man is depicted, in that he's attributed to being the deity of rebirth and renewal. But my own personal experience is that he's the embodiment of the cycle of life. In nature, um, you start at birth with fertility, and then you follow through with the abundance in the growing season, and then the end cycle with the, the harvest and the death and the release of foliage. So he goes all the way through that cycle. He is the embodiment of that cycle. Um, and he is also, to me, he is also the embodiment of that archetypal energy, and the source of our own survival, because we are dependent on nature for our sustenance. So to me, he is the embodiment of that archetypal energy. As far as correspondences go, he has some other names, and sometimes he is called the Jack of the Green and the Man of the Tree, or the Man in the Tree. In modern pagan cultures, he has an association with Cernunnos, with the Celtic myths. He is also associated with the Horn God in Wicca, and Viridios, who is the male god of verdure in ancient Britain, which just means god of the green. Um, and because of our modern times with our environmental activism and ecologists, he's also associated with that now. You could say it's a kind of a face of a movement, so to speak. Um, However, with all of that said, much of what we know about the Green Man is purely speculation. There's not very many written records. There's no records of his followers, and so to me, I think because there's no written records, I think my personal feeling about that is that he was just so ingrained in those societies that there wasn't a reason to write those down. He was just a part of their everyday lives, and so he was just something that you knew, because that's the culture and the environment that they grew up in. And so now, here in our modern times, if we've gotten away from those practices, and Christianity, it took a stronghold in all the Western cultures, then it's very, he just pretty much disappeared out of human consciousness. And so I'm glad that he is making, to me, he's making a resurgence. More people are becoming interested in the Green Man, than there were. For me personally, I really enjoy my relationship with this deity. I mean, coming from a person that experienced most of my hurts, coming from male members of the species, he's a reminder that not all males are hurtful, and he reminds me that men can and do experience love, because he has loved us from the beginning of our existence, and he's been there, a part of our existence from the beginning, and he's never deserted us or failed us, even though we have moved too far away from nature. um, and so now for me, he's becoming more like the yardstick by which I judge other men. Um, in the regards, is that man, is that male, is he generous? Does he care about his family and his friends? Is he honest? Does he work hard? Does he treat people with respect? Is he even capable of loving another human soul? Those are good questions to ask, and the Green Man gave me an example of those things that I didn't have in my life otherwise. So that's why this particular deity is of importance to myself. And so I have one Green Man pendant in my collection. And unfortunately, I can't get this pendant anymore. I can't find it online, and I'm not sure that the retail store where I got it is carrying it anymore. So this is truly a one-of-a-kind piece. So if you're interested in this particular piece, that is what the pendant looks like. The little copper clasp is hand fashioned by me. This is a combination of glass. Yeah, it's all glass. Glass beads. And it has a matching bracelet. So if you're interested in that piece, you can get it at greywolfadornments.square.my and I hope that you have really enjoyed this video, and I hope that it has helped you understand the Green Man a little better. And as always, I thank you so very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.